Sung Jin-woo, the man that you are. If you are in the need of a dopamine rush, Solo Leveling has something for you. I'm going to keep this video extremely short because I need you to experience greatness as quickly as possible. A couple years back, I tried reading Solo Leveling and dropped it pretty early on. I think the reasoning for this was because at that point in my life, I was searching for more series that had deep writing. I feel like I just gained 5 years by saying that. Twitter has ruined certain terms for me. But back on topic. Nowadays, I am perfectly fine with just sitting down and watching something that's just cool moments on a screen. I think there's that kind of mindset that you have to go to with series like this, and there's nothing really wrong with that as long as the series does a good job with what it's promising. And Solo Leveling has promised me good animation, emotionally charged fight scenes, and just something that's gonna give me that meathead itch scratched. The protagonist is the definition of trying to make it off the streets. Jin-woo is the weakest hunter in history, and he's still trying to make some bread to pay for his mom's hospital bills, rent, and his sister's tuition fees. That's real. When Jin-woo was left to die and he's enraged about the hypocrisies of others, that hit as well. So when he gets a second chance at life, you really want to see him succeed. It's different from series like Mushoku Tensei, where the protagonist is such a loser to the point where you have to sit there and go, yeah, I can't root for this thing to get better, especially when the series doesn't hold the man accountable for a lot of things. So when Jin-woo obviously becomes the strongest hunter of all time, I will be there to glaze. Now, while the premise might sound like a massive turn off to some because it gives off the vibes of an average isekai power fantasy that releases every season, I feel Solo Leveling doesn't come off as cringe, and this is the result of the soundtrack being elite. The soundtrack in this anime is being done by Hiroyuki Sawano, who did musical scores for Attack on Titan. As a result, a lot of these scenes that didn't really move me when I first tried reading the series were elevated. Voice acting and music do tend to have a way of elevating an experience, and I don't want to spoil it, but the episode that dropped this week, I needed that. None of that I have morals foolishness after everything he's been through. I just need someone who stands on business. The anime for Solo Leveling has managed to sell me on the series to the point where I decided to give the manhwa a second chance, and I'm loving it. I hear the scale of insanity continues to rise in the series, so I am seated to see what Mr. Oraman Sung Jin-woo continues to cook up. So tap into Solo Leveling for Meathead Haven, and if you are someone who enjoys anime content that keeps it real, consider subscribing so when I hit 10k you can brag about being a day one. I gotta get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace.